Joe Smart here with the advanced class of guitar, and we basically covered rhythm and groove, which involves different ways of playing rhythm guitar, and it involves several different methods, one being the rhythm itself, developing basically a single bar or a two-bar progression that repeats itself, and it can be either just a couple of notes, like for D, for example. Or it could be a single line kind of a thing. So for example, we're going to utilize Stevie Wonder's Superstition, and the single line that is involved in there is so it's a single line that's completely repeated over and over again. And then like a basic rhythm and groove part that would be there is a D minor 7, and you're just and so then if you're listening to the song, it's got the horn section as well, and they're doing a single line thing as well. So the whole part of like funk, R&B, rhythm and groove type stuff is single line stuff, and so the horn section would be so that right there is just a 2-bar, basically 8 beats worth of notes. And that's it, and it repeats itself over. So that's kind of the idea there. And then there's also like scratch, what we call scratch rhythm, which is kind of acting as a percussion. So over the course of playing rhythm and groove guitar, trying to think like a drummer. So as a drummer, you're kind of guiding the band in which direction they're going to go. They're playing a rhythm, and they're also cueing, like, okay, here comes a turnaround. So they might do like a little tom fill or a hi-hat little thing into the toms, or cymbal splash or whatnot. So you've got bop, 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 bop. So that's the kind of the concept of doing some rhythms there, and scratch rhythm is basically just muting the strings. So you've got a rhythm where you can involve doing muted strings. So it's definitely a way to be very percussive, very rhythmic, kind of creating a whole groove for the whole entire band to fall into. It also allows you to get a big sound all by yourself. So if you're just playing all by yourself and you're singing, So in this particular case, I've got a drop D, so I'm not tuned to an E string like normal, so it's tuned to the D. So that allows me to get even a drop, a deeper tone to my guitar. Just a nice big fat doubled up sound. And the other thing that we kind of covered was utilizing specific chord voicings, like a sharp 9 or a flat 9. Different things like that. The other thing was the pluck and snap. So using the middle finger to pluck the string, and then using kind of the palm to slap it down. So going on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Or if it was 16th notes, it'd be 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E. So it kind of gives you this really cool Victor Wooten-like percussive thing. So that's an example of doing the pluck and snap. So there's just different ways of creating that groove and basically creating a drum sound for the most part on the acoustic guitar. And then when you get to playing with the drums, it's kind of filling that little hole that the drummer's not doing. So for instance, if you've got a whole band and you've got a drummer, so they're doing your kick, snare, hi-hat thing, and then you've got you know, a couple of like lead guitars, a couple of horns, whatever, you might end up just doing a little single line kind of a thing, and it could be as simple as just one note. And this can apply to even like fiddle tunes to a certain extent. You know, taking a basic tune like, let's say, Boil the Cabbage. Da 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 da. That's a basic boom chuck. But you can go up high and play a simple triad. Ba 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 da 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 da. So even just where you even voice a guitar can make a huge difference on the overall sound, especially once you start getting more instruments involved, more rhythm instruments, a bass, another guitar, a mandolin. In an acoustic, you know, setting, they're already covering kind of the high and low end, so you find in that little space that you can fit your little thing into and doing the rhythm and groove stuff. So that's basically the basics of the course.